welcome to Psyched for Sanity. I'm Dr. Brindle Doss, licensed psychologist with areas of expertise in geriatric psychology, trauma treatment, and psychological assessment. And I get overstimulated with too many auditory inputs.
Okay.
I lose my bananas.
Auditory processing disorder issue?
If not a disorder, a subset, like
Okay.
subclinical for sure. For sure. If I'm watching TV and my spouse says something to me, I'm like, wait, stop! And then I have to pause, mute the TV. Then I'm like, go ahead. I get irrationally angry
Yes.
with
Okay.
too many auditory inputs.
Yes. So an auditory processing disorder, I think you're talking too about some probably auditory sensitivity, like overstimulation. Like some people can get really overstimulated by noises, and it actually triggers the stress response, like
Right.
your nervous system, and you feel overloaded, overwhelmed, and threatened
Yeah.
by too much noise or high pitched or too many inputs. Other sort of facets of auditory processing disorder, it's really your brain, and is not really working to process the different kinds of sounds. So if there's different sounds coming from different places, or it's muffled or in the background, your brain's really not able to make sense of it.
Right.
And then it just makes it's more fatiguing or more confusing to learn
Right. Makes it hard.
auditory information. I get also, I don't have the like auditory processing disorder necessarily, but I definitely get, I think, overstimulated by certain kinds of sounds.
Did you want to tell them your name?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Sorry.
Now I have decided that my fun fact is going to bounce off your fun fact. I'm Dr. Tara McKelvey Parker. I'm a clinical psychologist. I work in private practice. I specialize in psychological assessment and treatment of complex trauma and attachment wounds, childhood attachment wounds specifically. And yes, I have, 3 kids, right? 14, 17, 3.5. And they're all at an age right now where boundaries are like hard because the whole sort of developmental task right now for
Right.
all 3 of my kids are for them to sort of individuate, to separate.
Sucks.
It really does. Like the
Yeah.
2 to 4 sort of age range, and then like the 13 to 17, 18 age range is all about like kids really developing, pushing away. And so it's really hard to set boundaries. And it was really hard to get here this morning because my 3.5-year-old, she can be quite vocal.
Good for her. We love a girl with a voice.
She has a voice, but I get pretty like dysregulated, overstimulated with the whining and the screaming.
Yes.
That is challenging, and that's so normal. So normal for a 3.5-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, because they don't have the word. They don't have
to scream.
Yeah, they don't have the words to express. And my toddler, especially because she has some articulation issues, a hard time getting the words out. So it makes a lot of sense why she's whining or she's screaming. Something's wrong. She needs something. But I get like really overwhelmed, and kind of like a younger part inside of me gets kind of scared. And, depending on how I'm doing emotionally, I don't always react in ways that I love.
Yeah, it's hard, I think, when we're so overstimulated to parent. I am same. So I have similar but different age kids. I have 2 and 4. And they are also vocal children, individuals, which I'm so glad of and going to be so appreciative down the road. But I really, especially after my second one, noticed that I really struggled with the auditory, right when my daughter turned 2, just the auditory.
Just too many inputs.
And I literally sometimes have to plug my ears to kind of engage in more effective parenting.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to talk about is.
Yes. Why it is so hard to manage these challenging moments with your young and old, but younger,
Yeah, I guess in a sense it's geared that, but also like you have to be able to be regulated as a parent with older kids too. It's different.
It's true. It's a little different. I'm not necessarily as triggered by my teenagers when they're like disrespectful, for instance. That's kind of how they try to push boundaries.
Absolutely.
Right? They're like, that's stupid. I don't like that. I'm not going to do that. And I'm like, okay, like that.
Thank
that's
you for sharing
right.
me how
Thank
you
you
feel
for
about
sharing.
that.
That makes total sense. This really sucks. You don't want to do that thing.
And
but you got to do that thing.
Yep.
And that's a little bit easier for me. But the screaming and the
Screaming,
whining and the non-language, that's really what like activates me and makes it hard for me then to stay calm, to stay grounded, to offer that empathy.
Right.
Because I'm like, my nervous system is like kind of on red alert
And
from the
dysregulated.
screaming.
Yeah.
And so I think whenever it's easy, and I think most parents, I think like tend to they have something that triggers them from their kids, and they have a hard time keeping their cool.
I know I do.
Yeah, definitely. So I think for me, you know, I've shared, so you have the sort of auditory
Right.
sort of, and that's like a neurological
Probably.
thing. I think
Probably.
auditory processing
Yeah.
disorder, right?
Yeah.
And mine stems a little bit more from having like a really loud home, like family environment, like kind of the anger, the yelling, right? So when my kid, like automatically when she screams, my lid flips and I'm just like panicked, and and I mean I can be mad because it's my way of sort of trying to protect myself in the moment, because it feels like there's a threat because she's screaming at the top of her lungs, or I feel helpless,
like you can't you can't control anything or help her.
And you know, and that's definitely a familiar feeling from my childhood. So I really have to, I think we all do have to find ways in the moment if we're going to actually help our kids when they're dysregulated.
Right.
And what I mean by dysregulated really for a young child is their lid has flipped. They can no longer be, and that at our 3.5 year age kids, they can't be logical anyway.
Right.
Because our logical brain doesn't start to develop till at least 5, sort of all the way 12 peaks actually. So little kids are all right brain. They're all emotion. That's
all
your
the time.
Emotional brain. They're all impulse, all behavior.
Wow.
That's how they communicate their needs.
That's crazy when you put it all out like that. That's
like
absolutely.
Like
you're
literally
100% right. And literally that's what we experience with young kids.
And so it's so important to be when they're dysregulated, because it's so common, right? They're screaming, they're whining.
That's what they do.
They're slamming doors. They're doing all the things that you can stay grounded and help.
Throwing a
toy. Biting.
I don't have any biting.
Yeah, my 3.5-year-old likes to bite when she's excited as well, because kiddos can be dysregulated when they're excited too.
That happens a lot with my oldest.
It just means the emotion is too big for their bodies.
She doesn't know how to release it.
It can't release it, can't communicate it, can't tolerate it. So I tend to think a big, and from an attachment perspective too, like meaning relationship is important, parent-child relationship is so important for emotional health. Our job is to co-regulate with our child.
Co-regulate. That's a big term.
Co-regulate, yeah.
Important.
Yes, meaning that really from the ages of 0 to 5, the way that a kid develops healthy emotion regulation skills is to have a calm body from a wise, grounded adult that is able to sort of be a container and sort of take on the emotion with empathy.
Without retaliation.
Without punishment. Yeah. And really being able to read the bid for connection.
Because it is a bid for connection.
It's a bid for connection.
Right.
But whenever my lid is flipped and I'm scared, and I will sometimes just automatically feel like powerless. I want, it would be really easy to get into a power struggle, I think, for those reasons.
Right.
So I think probably both of us do different things to try to stay regulated.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to tell me how you've managed that. What I've tried to do, I definitely have ordered earplugs.
Yeah,
it's going to be life-changing.
That's going to be really good for you, because you need to
earplugs.
Dial down the input.
Specific earplugs that will help me sort of dampen the auditory, because what I do is I'll try to parent like this, but then sometimes I need my hands, and so it's hard to whatever. But if I can sort of dampen the noise or manage that, I will, say, hey, let's breathe together, because both of my kids they're good deep breathers.
Yeah.
We've talked about it from a very young age, especially, I think, with my second starting off, he will often tell me, need a break, need to take a break. And that means going outside, sitting on the front porch, and deep breathing.
Your son?
Yes, my daughter.
That's pretty amazing.
My daughter is such a good deep breather that when we tried to teach her how to swim, I said, okay, take a deep breath. And she'd go, no, hold it. And she didn't know how to hold it. So that's an opposite weird swimming problem we have. But I think what I try to do is I'm learning, and I want to emphasize that I am learning. I am not great at this. I'm okay at it, but I am learning. I said, okay, hey, it seems like we're both really struggling right now. Can I have your hands? And I take their hands, gentle, and I'm like, we lift our arms up and we breathe in and out. And that really helps my daughter, especially, and my son. And I think, they can't calm their nervous systems down by themselves.
No, they
So
can't.
they need us.
They need us. And I think I am not quite, I'm getting better at breathing myself.
Oh, it's been a journey.
Like actually,
we talked about that.
We talked about that, trying to breathe, because I really I want my body to be as calm as possible, because that's sort of the capital. If I can be calm, they sort of like feel the calm.
They feel the calm, and then we feel better ourselves. We feel more confident.
Yes, I'm not very good though at probably eliciting Penelope to do the deep breathing. Sometimes she'll do it randomly or spontaneously, but
that's nice.
I
think for me, it's one of the ones that's physical that we can do quickly together.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference for my kids. And it sort of gives us a task to do.
Yeah.
And that helps. Other things I used to do was when it was just her, and she would scream whatever, I'm like, hey, come here. And I would hold her and I would sing to her.
Yeah. When my toddler is scared, it's a lot easier for me to be like grounded and sort of remember the breathing in those instances. When she's angry, that's when it's a lot harder for me, I think, because I get so tripped up.
Yeah.
I think for me, I try to just really tell myself I'm safe. There's no threat. There's no danger. Yeah. The breathing helps with that. Like, again, activate that parasympathetic nervous system to calm down. And then I think, like, when all else fails, I just try to really repair.
Repairs are so important.
Any kind of rupture, because it happens like all the time. Like, I don't.
No, yeah. Like, I think we're decent psychologists.
Yeah.
But we're not meant to be psychologists to our kids.
Yeah.
We're parents.
I get mad. I get frustrated.
Absolutely.
I have time urgency. I'm like, hurry. Get out the door, climb in this car seat right out, And so I think knowing the elements of a good repair when there's a rupture in the parent-child relationship.
I don't think that's talked about enough. What would that look like?
Well, I think like acknowledging what happened.
Right.
Okay.
I'm sorry that I yelled.
Yeah, mommy got really mad.
Yep.
And I did not handle that well. Right. I did not handle that well. And that was, I think, a part that parents miss, is the feelings then. That was scary.
Yeah.
Like, when I get mad, Penelope just starts bawling.
Yeah.
When I raise my voice, she just starts bawling.
Yep.
I know that was really scary. That really hurt your feelings. You're a good girl.
Mm-hmm.
That was Mommy. Mommy was angry and had a hard time. I'm having a hard time. And then I just breathe. That's when I can start the breathing and try to do it with Penelope and just say, I'm really working on this, honey. And just reassure her that she's good and she didn't do anything. That's, I think, my biggest fear is, her.
Yeah, it's so hard because we want to do such a good job. We care so much. Obviously, we want to be good parents, and be helpful and safe. Mm-hmm. And I think what I have learned is that I need some space and I need some support physically. So what I'll do is, if I'm really dysregulated, and I will go sit, and I will put my back against the wall and sit on the floor, and I will breathe myself and plug my ears, and then I say, okay, can we breathe together now? Like, I try to do it stepped. And then afterwards I say, I always want to reinforce, along with you repairing, that it is Mom's job, not your job, to figure this is not your fault. Yeah. It is not your job to make me feel better.
Yeah, and then try to, take active steps to really make changes. So
absolutely. Earplugs, here we come.
Yeah.
And other things.
I imagine a lot of parents can relate to what we are saying, and this will probably be the first of many episodes that we have about parenting.
Because we're parents.
Yeah.
And we're figuring it out.
Yeah. So if anything about this episode resonated with you, please share your feedback in the comment section. We definitely want to hear from you.
Commiserate with us.
Be proud with us. Want to bang your head against the wall with us.
Maybe not that actually, but also the sentiment we want to hear about.
Exactly.
We want to. We hope that you can find a way not to. We're trying to figure out a way not to do that.
Yeah.
What do you need today? I've loved our conversation, and it's so important to our personal lives. And even to our professional lives as clinicians that work with a bunch of parents.
Yeah. I think after thinking about this morning, and it was challenging, and I know that I was short and anxious, and
Right.
it was all totally fine, and like nothing. But I think maybe journaling a little bit about
Okay.
what happened, why exactly was I so angry?
Yeah.
What is this really bringing up from my past? How can I take care of myself and that,
Right.
that part, instead of, taking it out on my kid?
Yeah. One thing that I think that resonated with me is like how much both of us try to model
Mm-hmm.
what we want our kids to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like, I guess I'm expressing pride in both of us because by doing those repairs
Yeah.
and having those conversations, or by plugging my ears and taking my moment, I'm modeling what I want. I know you're modeling
Yeah,
what you're wanting
we're trying
too.
to show them what to
Right.
do, and also that we're not perfect, and also that
Yeah.
it's okay to be mad.
It's absolutely okay. And
So
it's,
it's
it's
okay.
important actually to
It's
feel
actually
all
really
your
important.
feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a whole other episode.
Whole other episode, Rudy, make a note. This podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for therapy, diagnosis, or any kind of professional mental health treatment. We hope that we can share with you our experience authentically and genuinely, and we hope that occasionally we'll make you laugh. Maybe you can relate to our quest and how we're psyched for sanity. The content we share is our personal opinions and insights. They are not clinical insights to anyone, and they don't represent or reflect any entity that we work and or have worked for in the past. But if listening to this podcast has made you think, we really encourage you to seek out a mental health professional in your area.